Hey everyone, and welcome back to That Disney Girl. So I thought it would be really fun if we explored the history of Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe in the Magic Kingdom. And also let's look at some really cool facts about Sunny Eclipse. In order to do this, we need to also take a look at the history and backstory of Tomorrowland as a whole, so we're going to weave that in as we go along. So Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe is not what we originally started with. It was originally the Tomorrowland Terrace, and this opened with the rest of Walt Disney World on October 1st, 1971 in the Magic Kingdom. It was sponsored by Coca-Cola and it opened up to a huge success. It is one of the busiest restaurants that Disney World has ever seen, and also on its opening day it had a conveyor belt system that could make up to 3,000 burgers per hour. And even if we fast forward to what we have today, Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, this is going to be the busiest restaurant revenue-wise that Disney has to offer. It's the busiest restaurant in the entire United States of America, as well as the third busiest in the world. I mean, those facts may have changed since I last researched them, but you can kind of understand the picture of how busy and how much turnout this restaurant provides. So when Tomorrowland Terrace opened, it opened with that futuristic style vibe that we see all over Tomorrowland, and it actually had a form of entertainment. What we know now to be as an animatronic once started off as a real human being. So there was a gentleman named Michael Iceberg who played at the Tomorrowland Terrace, and he kind of played some synthesizer keyboard music, which we can obviously see a progression to when we're looking at Sunny Eclipse's music. But people traveled far and wide to see Michael Iceberg perform on his amazing iceberg, which was this whole keyboard synthesizer machine. So the biggest problem with Tomorrowland as a whole was that by 1994, it started to look really dated. And of course, Tomorrowland was kind of going off of Walt's original idea of this community of tomorrow, but since it was originally representing our future, unfortunately, after over 20 years, it started to not look as great, or as modern and relevant, I should say. So the entire land as a whole was given an entire new refurb and backstory, and the Tomorrowland Terrace had to adapt and change to this backstory. So now Tomorrowland was going to become the future that never was. Now I think this was a fantastic idea on Disney's part because they made the theming of this land kind of become indispensable. It now has a retro Art Deco chic kind of look to it, and because it has this and because it's kind of focusing on a community that never was, meaning it's not in our reality, this means that it has no real excuse to be dated because it's a fantasy community. So Tomorrowland Terrace became Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, and the backstory theming behind this was that it was going to be the first Earth-chained restaurant in the outer space. And I'm going to read a little excerpt on what this community of tomorrow was supposed to look like with its new backstory in tow. The Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, Tomorrowland is a community where everyday living is made better through science, invention, and intergalactic influence. Inhabited by robots, space aliens, and a few humans, this amazing Earth community is so world-renowned, it was selected as the universal headquarters for the first League of Planets. Tomorrowland robots perform household chores, ice cream comes from the Milky Way, and a trip through time is as common as a spin around the solar system. Tomorrowlanders keep up with the latest on- and off-world wonders and technologies by visiting the exhibits presented at their neighborhood interplanetary convention and science centers. Those who work and play in and around the Rocket Tower Plaza, the bustling heart of the community, live outside the town in the hoverburbs. They commute via the Tomorrowland Transit Authority Skyway Blue Line Express, and locals get all their news before it even happens by subscribing to the Tomorrowland Times. And today, in this fantasy community of tomorrow, the future that never was is alive and well. But I love the fact that when they did do this refurb, that they were able to connect all of the attractions and make it this entire community. So even though the original Tomorrowland was refurbed, it still had this idea of a community of tomorrow, which was Walt's dream. So now when you're on the People Mover, you're basically using their subway system, and when you're on the Astro Orbiter, this was something that they erected for interplanetary peace. Unfortunately, attractions like the Time Seeker and Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter were removed to insert attractions that had existing IPs in the Walt Disney World film community. And if you have any opinions on that, because I know I sure do, definitely comment them down below.
Okay, enough of this chit-chat. Let's get ready to break the time barrier.
That's right, my friends. No longer are we limited to traveling from place to place and losing our bags beforehand. Now, with my time machine, it is possible to travel from time Too tired.
Enough explaining. Hit the switch.
But let's get back to talking about Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. So one of the most entertaining things that we have now at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe is of course our live performer Sunny Eclipse. Sunny Eclipse is an animatronic alien that actually came to us from a galaxy far, far away. And I say this because originally, Sunny Eclipse was the bag checker at Disneyland Tokyo's Star Tours. So I think that's a super interesting thing to note because now we're kind of tying in the idea of Star Wars into the backstory of the Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, which in turn means that this whole backstory community of Tomorrowland may be connected to Star Wars. And it definitely makes sense that these two galaxies and these two communities could be living next to each other. And who knows, maybe Sunny Eclipse is even traveling back to Batuu because he still plays weddings and different nightclubs throughout the galaxies. Sunny plays on this Astro organ and his set is 27 minutes long. He has a bunch of original songs that he's going to play as well as some fun jokes because Sunny loves his jokes. And Sunny comes from New York City on planet Zork. This is going to be a planet that everything is topsy-turvy, turned upside down, where the subways are up and the streets are down. So composers and Imagineers George Wilkins and Cal David were the two that created all of the music and songs behind Sunny Eclipse. This was actually recorded in a home studio. And when you see Sunny Eclipse perform, he has a set of background performers that are actually invisible, and these background performers were actually after a real band called the Brunettes.
I perform on all the planets and some rock and roll and rocket ships. So hello all you earthlings, the name is Sunny Eclipse.
And when you're in Cosmic Rays Cafe, there's going to be 3 bays, 3 different ordering stations where you can order different things. You're gonna get your burgers, chicken fingers, maybe a little bit of a fancier sandwich, and they also have some vegetarian options as well now. And I will link their most updated menu down below if you're interested on visiting it on your next vacation. Although I don't think it is the best food by far that you're gonna get in Disney, I think that if you've never been to Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, it's definitely a must-do, something that everyone who goes to Disney should experience, just because I think it's so monumental to the Disney establishment, of course, as its biggest revenue restaurant that it has. And it's one of the places that was kind of there from the beginning. So that's it. We've taken a quick little history lesson on Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, as well as Tomorrowland as a whole. So if you know anything else about the history of this restaurant or the backstory of this land, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have a discussion about it. If you enjoyed what you learned, definitely give this video a nice big thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see you real soon. Okay, bye everyone.
This organ, this crazy outer space tone. This amazing Astro organ has a crazy mind of its own. Sometimes I play the music, sometimes it plays it all alone. Take it, Astro! Play, Astro, play, take it away.